What is going on, everybody? We are back with another review. This is the CCW podcast. I am Nick,
And I am Joe.
and we are covering October 3rd's Smackdown and October 4th's Collision. One show was better than the other by a long shot, and it was not what I expected. It was not what I expected.
Yep, it wasn't the work rate show. It was the other one.
And the bad thing is, the other one had better wrestling on it, too. I'm just saying, it was a good Smackdown.
Yep. Yeah. It was a I don't know if it was so much that it was a good SmackDown as it was just a really, really poor Collision.
No, I think SmackDown was good. I legit, because I'll be the one covering most of it since you didn't watch it. But
I watched the recap.
there wasn't a match that I didn't. Okay, the match that I probably didn't enjoy the most, the least, was the main event. The Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton and Braun match was just kind of meh.
I do have to say it was a very Nick-friendly SmackDown based on what I saw.
Eh.
You said me?
But
Soul and what's her name?
Soruka and Zarya got to wrestle. That made me happy.
Taking out your favorite act of Chelsea Green and Alba Fire.
I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I don't hate them.
I am a big Chelsea Green fan, but
I'm an Alba Fire
mostly
fan.
of her stuff outside.
But I'm not
mostly of her stuff outside of WWE.
I'm not a fan of the Secret Hervis Alba. I definitely prefer.
No, they've kind of fumbled this gimmick.
But so jumping right into it, we're in Cincinnati and we've got Cole. Oh, that and then the worst part of the show, Booker on commentary.
Booker T, yes, he was bad.
Always,
but he always is.
Always bad. We get an in-ring segment. Cody Rhodes comes out in a much better suit.
Yes.
As Cody asks what Cincy wants to talk about, Heyman comes out of a goddamn portal.
He is the Oracle, so he can just summon portals.
He snuck out of the timekeeper area with Braun from nowhere. Like, I don't know. Like, were they all three underneath that small ass timekeeper table? I don't know, but they just popped up out of nowhere. And immediately as they start to approach the ring, Randy Orton's also magically by Cody's side because he crawled out of Cody's butthole. Like, I don't know where these people were hiding.
So what you're saying is Cody's the one that was hearing voices. It was echoing out of his butt.
Something like that, man. Paul then goes on to introduce their trio. They said that they didn't come to talk to Cody, though. They came to talk to Orton. And basically he was like, we knew if we cornered Cody, you'd be right by his side. He says, regardless of their strategy, they're going to lose. But what he wants them to know is when they lose tonight, regardless of who takes the pin, Orton's going to look at Cody differently. Basically said that if Cody takes the pin, Orton's going to look at Cody and be like, that's the world champ. I can do better than that. But if
I can do so much better than that.
But if Orton takes the pin, he's going to look at Cody and be like, well, why didn't you help?
Like, hey, where was the world champion?
But yes,
it's a really good segment.
He was trying to sow some seeds of deceit, and then they walked out, and it was over. Dude, it was like a 4 to 5 minute moment. Like, it didn't last long. It didn't drag out. It was a Joe friendly. It was a Joe friendly moment. They
tried to book for me, but I didn't watch.
But yeah, it was like only the first.
So you're telling me I pretty much seen the whole segment then?
Yeah, probably.
Nice.
Super quick. In and out. They were out in like 5 to 6 minutes. It was super nice.
Well, they had an action-packed SmackDown.
Backstage, Mello gets stopped by The Miz, and basically tells him that they're done. He says that Miz is pretty much always in his way. Mello says, and by the way, I'm being cool about it all because normally I shoot first, and then he walked off. Which leads to our first match, our U.S. Championship match, which is Sami Zayn versus Carmelo, whatever his name is, Mello.
Carmelo Hayes.
Hayes. I'm about calling him Carmelo Mays. Listen. Funny enough, though, he didn't make it to the ring for the match. He comes out, says that he doesn't have anyone holding him back anymore, and feels like he can win the title now.
He's like, Sammy, you know me. You know.
He's the best he's ever been. And then Miz comes up from out of nowhere, also another portal, and gives him a skull crushing finale on the ramp. At which point, Aleister Black comes out, grabs the mic off the ground, and is like, "Man, that's unfortunate. I'll take the title chance, though." Just some funny. You don't usually get him on like in a like. I don't think it was meant to be funny, but it definitely made me laugh because it was so dry. Carmelo Hayes comes out. Or no, I already said that part. So Sammy gets a few arm drags to start the match. Black starts to get the upper hand with some well-placed kicks. They did say during the match that this is Black's first singles title shot ever on the main roster.
Which is so weird to think about.
Mm-hmm. Black hits a nice springboard moonsault to go to break. Sammy reverses a couple of suplex attempts and gets one of his own. Black hits a nice kick to stop the comeback, though. Sammy gets a 10 punch in the corner with some kicks. He then clotheslines Black to the outside and hits a sit-down springboard moonsault on Black from the apron. It's basically just a springboard moonsault, but he kind of sits on the bounces.
Yeah, he does the thing where he sits and catapults backwards.
Sammy also hit a very loose Mikonochi driver, and not as loose as Fletcher's, but loose nonetheless.
Fletcher's they jump and he just turns them in air.
Right. Black comes back and hits a German bridge pin, gets a 2 count. Sammy hits a nice superplex on Black off the top as they go to commercial break number 2, which is my biggest complaint of this match. There should never have been 2 commercial breaks. Black,
it's just want to pad it out, man.
Right. Black goes for a superplex himself, but Sammy reverses it into a sunset flip for a pin. Black kicks out. Sammy jumps off the top rope for what's supposed to be a move that, it doesn't really matter. He gets kneed in the face, but I don't know what he was going for. And that's one of the biggest problems I currently have in wrestling, that I don't remember always being a thing. Like, you used to know what move somebody was going for if somebody reversed it off the turnbuckle. And now, a lot of times, it seems like people dive off specifically just for the hit.
Yeah.
And that's what this felt like. Like, he didn't look like he was going for a clothesline. It didn't look like he was going for a crossbody. It didn't look like anything. He just kind of jumped and took a knee to the face. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Strike exchange, just for Joe, even though he didn't watch it. Black dodges a haluva kick and hits a meteor, but Sammy kicks out at 2. Priest shows up and kind of laughs at Aleister. And Sammy hits a haluva kick while he's distracted, and then hits the Blue Thunder Bomb for the win. And Priest laughs on the outside of the ring. Post-match, Priest, in the most polite manner ever, clears off the announce table. And then Razor edges Aleister, also very politely through the table. And this is where I officially no longer like the new tables. Because the way he did the move, like, he hits the table and then it collapsed so neatly and so slowly.
Yep.
That it's
safety first.
It looks like shit. It does.
I've never heard a table spot called politely.
Dude, go watch it. When we're done with this, just watch the first match. Watch the end of it. Like, fast forward to the post match, dude. Like, he lands on the table, and the table almost just politely collapses. Like, oh, here, allow me to lay you down gently. Like, the whole segment was goofy, and it wasn't intended to be goofy because, again, he's attacking.
No, they're in a blood feud.
But I'm just like, what is going on?
I don't like the way Sammy's being booked. I like the concept of the open challenge thing, but the last few weeks he's had help to win. And it's making Sammy look kind of weak.
Right. And I don't think that's their intent. I think their intent is to push other feuds.
Their intent is to give him W's and to boost younger talent, but
right.
He's had some help, and it's not necessarily doing anything for anybody.
But I will tell you this. This was a banger of a match overall. Like, actually watching it. It's the first time...
They're great. It's like NXT Black and Gold.
But it's the first time since he's been back in WWE that I actually saw Alistair looked good in the ring.
Well, he's only fought Damian Priest, Damian Priest can work, but he's got awkwardness in his work.
Right.
That doesn't mesh well with everyone. And to add to that, Alistair Black has a very quirky working style as well that doesn't vibe with a lot of people as well.
It usually doesn't vibe with me. Like, I usually don't like the whole Steve Blackman style of wrestler. Usually.
Well, he's not quite Steve Blackman, but
close.
He is a striker-based. His offense is striker-based and Muay Thai-ish.
Every now and again, somebody that is striker-based comes along, and I enjoy them. Don't get me wrong. Prime example, Speedball. But then again, Speedball is also very high-fly striker-based, right? My only problem is
he's closer to like Kyle O'Reilly than he is like Speedball.
Right. My only problem with Speedball is he doesn't wear fucking shoes. Now.
Yeah. Learn from Marina Shafir.
With that being said, though, this was just a really good match, and maybe it's also because it's Sammy and Alistair, and they've probably wrestled before. I don't know. They did well.
Oh, most certainly somewhere.
We get an earlier today moment where Sol and Zarya are talking to Aldis, and Chelsea wants them to join the Secret Service. They were like, nah, we're good. And they were like, how about we wrestle you instead? And Nick Aldis was like, hey, sure, let's do that. And Chelsea threw a fit. Which, okay, here is my next problem in wrestling, now that it's happening. I am so tired. And I don't know if this has always been a thing in wrestling. Like, always, right? I feel like it probably has, and it's taken 40 years now. Almost 40 years. Technically, it's taken like 30 to 35 years, because I didn't watch wrestling for the first few years of my life. I am so tired of segments leading into matches involving the people in those segments.
Segue. I mean, that's.
I don't know if it's happening a lot more lately, or if it's just always been a thing in wrestling, like forever.
No, you can blame the.
But I feel like
the Attitude Era.
But I feel like it just feels so disjointed to me. Like, and it's supposed to make it feel.
It's done too much.
That's
the thing. It's oversaturated. It's overdone. Like most things in wrestling now.
But yeah, so that happened, and then
just lazy booking.
I don't have a lot of notes for this match because it didn't last very long. Zarya hits a hanging sleeper off the turnbuckle on Alba pretty early on. That was pretty dope because a lot of people don't really be doing that much. Alba tags in Chelsea. Chelsea gets headbutt for her troubles. Sol Ruka gets tagged in, hits an X Factor pretty quickly. Green and Alba work together to take over Sol Ruka so that they're on top. Shortly after, Zarya takes Alba outside, takes her out completely. And then Sol Ruka hits the Soul Snatcher, which is my favorite finisher in wrestling currently. And
flipping cutter.
And gets the win.
It is a very neat looking move.
And it's a great quick match. And one of the things they mentioned, and it's crazy, right? Sol Ruka has technically only been wrestling since 2022.
Ooh, that is quick.
And actually looks better than most of the people on the women's SmackDown roster. I mean, I get it. Most of the people being Jade and...
Yeah, good. I mean, not everybody has that kind of...
No.
You know, take to it like that. Like, Kurt Angle is like the only other person I can think of that just like...
Well, Kurt's a whole different story. He wasn't like...
quickly.
He wasn't like, I took to it quick. Like Soul did struggle to start off with, but she was in NXT. developmental, building up, things like that. Kurt didn't have all that.
No, he did not.
Kurt came in and just ran with it and just did amazingly.
I saw a thing on WWE Vault earlier today about Kurt. And he was talking about his first match and how nervous he was because, like he said, there was no NXT. He's like, I'd only done like one promo before, and it was for like an indie show. He's like, I was very much he's like, I didn't know what psychology was or how to put a match together, but here I was coming out and, shooting my shot.
And then he went on to retire and can arguably say he's one of the greatest of all time.
He's one of the greatest to do it. I agree.
Some weird things do happen in this show. Okay, good quick match ends with a soul cutter or soul snatcher. I called it a soul cutter. And again, it's just one of those like finisher happened. 1, 2, 3, we're done. No kickouts, no bullshit. It ended, and then backstage, Green and Bliss. I did type Green and Bliss. I meant to say Charlotte and Bliss were asked about Ruka and Zarya, and they said they've come so far, and when the time comes, they better be ready. There were some jokes and stuff kind of going between the two as well, where they're kind of pretending to not be best friends, but also kind of pretending to be best friends because they're dorks. Charlotte tried to get her to woo. The interviewer wooed, and then Bliss laughed and walked off. We get an in-ring segment, and this is a weird one. It's contract signing time. Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vaquer come out. Vaquer grabs the mic. She says she respects Tiffany and she's a great champion. She knows that she herself has only been champion for 2 weeks, but she won't be losing. She said any much. She meant any more. I love people that
her English is new.
That don't speak English very well. It makes these moments even more entertaining for me personally.
It makes it more genuine to me.
Tiffany says that since Stephanie signed, she's been waiting pretty much in excitement to wrestle against Vaquer. But at Perth, she's going to win because regardless of when and where, it will always be Tiffy time. They both sign their contracts. They shake hands. Aldis presents them and says they'll face each other in a week, and they go to leave. And I'm like, huh?
Oh, don't worry. Something happens.
But no, I have not even seen it ever get this far without something happening.
Well, they're two baby faces.
So are Tony and Stat. People being baby faces don't fucking matter. It's just...
Well, it served a purpose on the other show.
But no, so as they're going to... As Tiffany is leaving, because Stephanie's still in the ring, Julia and her stooge come out and take out Tiffany. Her stooge wants Vaquer to accept her services and make her so that she can make her a superstar. She says she can make her the crown jewel champion. Tiffany at that point drags her out of the ring, beats her down, and then Julia attacks Vaquer. Vaquer sets her up for the SVB, but she wiggles out and escapes the ring, at which point Vaquer and Tiffany stand together in the ring, and I was like, oh, we're going to probably get a tag match next SmackDown, and they did announce by the end of the show that is what's going to happen.
What is it, JC Jane as Julia's stooge?
Yes, because I will never remember her name because she's unimportant.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Earlier today, we get a moment where Aldis is talking to Javon Evans and was basically trying to, in advance, recruit him to SmackDown when he's done in NXT. Ray Phoenix came out, and I thought it was Dragon Lee. I had Dragon Lee in my notes until they said it was Ray Phoenix. And I was like, oh, it's Ray Phoenix. Listen. AEW does something smart.
You're the one that loves Lucha.
I do. But AEW does something smart where everyone that's a Lucha looks so drastically different.
Do they, though?
They do. Bandito wears the long, like, bandana-style mask.
And he comes out with the chubby white guy. So it's really easy to spot him.
Anyways.
No. Bandito's mask is legit different.
Ray Phoenix comes in and says that they should wrestle. Los Garza decide who I didn't even know who they were. They showed up and I was like, who the fuck are they?
You don't remember the Garzas?
Fuck no, I don't.
Oh man, Angel and the other one.
Yeah, I didn't even. Dude, I had to Google their names with pictures because I was like, who's who?
It's Angel and
Berto. Or Berto.
It's Humberto.
No. His fucking tights just say Berto. It's Berto.
But his name is Humberto.
No. They even call him just Berto during commentating and everything. Like, he just goes by Berto. It's weird.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
But
because his name is literally Humberto.
They show up.
Humberto Carrillo.
And they are like, oh, we've already beat them. And Javon's like, well, we should run it back. And Nick Aldis is like, yeah, I think you should.
Yeah, I gotta make up some time on this television show. You do that.
Listen, when half of your matches are by people that aren't even on your show, you know it's time to, and your show's actually better for it, you know it's time to shake up some shit. I'm just saying.
Every show needs shaking up. Even NXT, it's apparently very bad right now with its weird invasion angle.
So we get Javon Evans and Ray Phoenix versus, or Phoenix, I think it's Phoenix, versus Los Garza. At one point, Ray dives out to Berto, and Angle dives out to Ray. Then Evans dives out onto all of them. That sounded so disjointed, but it was a really cool. It was a really cool segment. They were all just taking turns diving on each other. And Evans, his dive was the one where he legit just jumps over the top rope and splashes into him. It was a lot of fun. Back from the break, Phoenix is taking a 10 punch in the corner from Angel. We get a really cool double team move though, where Angel power slams Phoenix, but also kind of power bombs Evans at the same time. Because Berto had put Evans up on his shoulder, up on the other dude's shoulders while he had him in the while he had Phoenix in the power slam position. And then Berto drop kicked Phoenix. Which it was a really fun double team move I've never seen before. Javon Evans dove. Okay, this is where. So Javon Evans technically dives at Berto, who's outside the ring, right? However, the camera guy is standing in front of Berto because he didn't know he was there. So when Evans dives out of the ring to dive at the guy, he dives at the camera, and I'm like, the fuck is going on? Why did he just attack the cameraman? And I start laughing. And then another cameraman shows that the other cameraman, that Berto was over by where he dove, and I'm like, oh, so that was the point that I had told you about, where I was like, where I said there was a part that I was both confused and very entertained at the same time. Because I'd never seen somebody dive at a cameraman before. Good times. Cameraman caught him. Did a good job. Phoenix hits the Mexican Muscle Buster on Berto, and then Evans hits the OG Cutter on Angel, and they got the win. It was a really nice, really good match. I actually really like. The more I see of Javon Evans, the more I like him. In fact, I'm kind of now bummed that Knight didn't go to WWE because I think the two of them would either make a good tag team or a really good match against each other.
You talking about Kevin Knight?
Yeah, because I feel like they both have very, very similar wrestling styles.
The WWE guy's a little springier.
Backstage, Priest is asked by Kelly how far Priest is willing to go to end this. And out of nowhere, Kit Wilson shows up again. Kit says power is overcompensation. He says that he will show him what true masculinity is, and then he stands up. And the Priest looks at him.
So who the fuck is Kit? Who is this Kit guy?
He's the tag team partner that's with the other guy in Pretty Deadly.
Oh, when they're not doing their weird gimmick, I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah. Now I don't know if they're still together. I don't know if the other guy's injured or what's going on. But yeah, that's who he is. So yeah, he says that he's going to show him what true masculinity is, and then he stands up to get in Priest's face, and then Priest pushes him, and he falls
back into the wheelchair.
Back into the wheelchair, and then he grabs the wheelchair and rolls it off screen. And
you just hear,
yeah, you hear him kind of screaming, and then he hits something, and you hear some things fall over. Priest kind of makes that look like oof, and then he says, he looks back at the camera with Kelly, and he says, he's willing to take this as far as he has to. He challenges Black to a last man standing match next week on SmackDown. We get a solo vignette where he's further talking about his family tree. He says something is missing from the family, and my guess it's Umaga's kid that just got out of jail.
No, do we really need another?
It's the last kid that's on the independent circuit that's not in the WWE currently.
What's his name going to be? Wide Afala, since we already got a tall Afala.
It's Talatonga, and no, his name won't be Wide Atonga. He's not wide. Maybe Gelatonga. Or something along those lines. He did, like I said, he recently just got out of prison for, I think he was in there for 5 years for something.
What you want?
Listen.
Convicted felons?
They've got one on the roster and everybody loves him. Jacob.
I am starting to dislike Jacob Fatu.
He's a beast.
If you looked away from your television during a Jacob Fatu promo, and until he says his little catchphrase at the end, can you literally tell the difference between him, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and all of them cutting a promo?
Well, no. They're all family. They're all going to sound alike.
They all sound the same.
Yeah, they're family. They all grew up together. They've all been around each other forever.
My point is, the writing is so bad that no matter who they are personality-wise, they all sound the same.
I can see that. I still like him, though. They don't wrestle the same.
His wrestling ability is top-notch. It's got nothing to do with that. It's how they're structuring the promos. His cadence in the promos. Everything. It just irks me.
He also does the boogeyman head shake, which makes me happy.
I'm the boogeyman.
Anyways, so
I miss silly shit like that.
Backstage, Street Profits are being interviewed by Kelly. B-Fab says they're all on the same page. They say that the Wyatt Six can play all the mind games they want. They're not just wrestling for the titles, they're fighting for each other. And then on the screen behind them, the Wyatt Six show up and basically say that they're going to burn their house down. And then,
Big Red.
And then they tell them to run, which is fun. And then we get the main event. And I put match 4, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton versus Braun. I said, by the way, quick note, there's more than 30 minutes left when the entrances started for this match, and by the time the ring bell started, there were around 17 to 18 minutes left in the show.
It takes a lot of time to get to the ring with all those voices he be hearing.
Listen.
And Cody's got to slap every child's hand on his way to the ring.
Whoa! So, faces go up early. It starts off Orton versus Breakker. Orton throws Breakker out of the ring, and Breakker goes to clothesline Randy through the table. Because, again, he's the only person I know in the world that does that. Orton moves and then back suplexes him on the table a couple of times. Reed comes in and back suplexes Orton on the table himself. These all look like they hurt way more than the Razor's Edge that was done earlier in the show that did break the table.
So they were not polite backdrops.
No, they weren't. So the heels do their heel thing where, they cut off the rope or the ring and prevent the tag.
Heat. They got heat on Orton.
Cody eventually gets tagged in and he takes the heels out. But the heels do the heel thing and start to cut him off from being able to tag out as well. Cody went for his springboard knee but got caught in midair, and then Reed power slammed him out from it. Breakker was tagged in, and Cody was trying to get away from him to tag in Orton, and Breakker at that point tossed him. Cody finally tags in Orton. Orton does his clothesline power slam comeback move on breaker. Reed then tags in and gets power slammed himself. Reed hits him with the DVD though, and then goes up for the tsunami. Orton hops up, stops that shit. Orton hits a superplex on Reed, and this annoyed me. And this is the first time that I pointed it out, but it happened several times during this show. But you could clearly hear Orton counting to 3 as they were getting ready to do the superplex. Like you legit heard 1, 2, 3, and then they did the fucking thing, and it bothers me because I remember
Too close to the mic. Huh?
I never remember hearing wrestlers really talk before with that. Well, I mean, recently, yes, absolutely. Over the last couple years, yes, I've heard them.
Yeah, John Cena's really bad.
I've heard them all talk at some point, even AEW, WWE, it doesn't matter. But I feel like, dude, in the late 90s, early 2000s, you never heard that shit.
And they talked a lot because they called most of their matches in the ring.
Right. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, no, I was just really annoyed. Outside, Breaker dives off the apron onto Cody through the Timekeeper's barricade, which was kind of cool. Orton does his draping DDT on Reed in the ring. Orton then sets up for the RKO where he's doing his little Viper stance thing as he's getting...
Yeah, he's leaning over on the ground, stalking.
Heyman draws the attention of the ref, and then Seth comes in another portal. No, I'm pretty sure he came from underneath the ring. He had a curb stop on Orton. Reed hit a tsunami, and then got the win.
What the fuck was Paul Heyman doing? He was acting like he was going to climb the ropes and do a Macho Man elbow drop.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
He started climbing the ropes, and Michael Cole goes, "What the hell is Heyman doing?"
Seth celebrated with them in the ring, and then they walked off. Seth was like, "Cody's mine. The job's done." You could see that Braun was not too thrilled with being told to leave. At which point, him and Heyman kind of have a stare down, and then Heyman's like, "Don't do it. Don't go. Don't do it." Seth runs into the ring to go do the stomp to Cody. Cody moves and then gets him in the crossroads and hits him with it.
Ooh, Heyman tried to warn him.
And then Heyman told the other two to stay back and to not run to the ring. So.
Ooh, interesting developments.
Yeah. There could already be dissension amongst the crew. If I'm being honest, it needs to happen quickly because I'm already tired of the Vision.
Are you saying the Vision is cloudy?
I'm saying it's about like a 1040.
Not 2020, huh?
Not 2020. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong, and they're finally starting to let them win.
Yeah, they're finally starting to let Braun and them win. Yes.
I think Braun would do better without Seth overshadowing them.
I don't think that's about to be a problem. I think Heyman is gonna cut old Seth loose.
Right. But yeah, over and above all, honestly, a really good show. I was thoroughly entertained for most of it. That last match was really boring until like the last 3 minutes.
It's because Randy Orton's in it. Randy Orton's style of wrestling, because we've seen it for
20
nearly
years,
30 years now, is bad.
my
and slow.
My problem with Randy isn't even that he's slow or bad or anything like that, right?
Well, he's not slow. He's not bad, but he's methodical and slow, and it's built into his gimmick, and it's just not entertaining.
He feels out of place now. Is my problem. Like,
yeah, because his style of work doesn't exist anymore.
He's the only evolution.
There's no Triple H to trade rest holds with.
He's the only evolution guy left wrestling.
Well, yeah, he was the youngest in that group, so that makes sense, though.
And it's just, maybe it is because he's so old at this point that like I don't know. We spent so much of our lives off and on watching wrestling with him being the guy in WWE. Like, him and Cena traded.
Yeah, pretty much 2008 to 2017.
Yeah, him and Cena traded off for about 10 years. Like, that was...
Him, Cena, Batista. Him, Cena, Batista. Him, Cena, Batista.
And now he's kind of been thrown into the secondary role, which is where he needs to be. That's not my problem. But it's still revolving around the world title match, and I don't think he should be anywhere near the world title picture. And I don't mean him being in a world title match himself. I just mean he shouldn't be floating in that upper card fixture anymore. Like, I just don't think he has what it takes to be in the upper card. Because
yeah, but he's a superstar.
Everybody's young, quick, and he's just Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Now he could still RKO motherfucker out of nowhere. It's great. It's fun to see, but I don't know. AEW Collision. So that's the end of that show. We're done. We're gonna talk. No, I'm kidding. We'll actually talk about it.
It may as well be though.
We get our Collision intros where everybody's talking shit about everybody that they're wrestling. I wish they didn't do this. It's a waste of time.
It was fine back when Punk was there because you'd get at least a good Punk intro promo. But now you don't have anybody that's even remotely that great with promos.
I don't listen. Collision's basically become dark.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. We're in.
I don't. Yeah.
We're in Lakeland, Florida, and it's Shivani, lovely, and McGinnis on commentary. I'll let you go ahead and do the match. I don't.
Well, don't worry. You're about to get somebody to join the commentary team in Magical Matt Menard. First match of the show was Adam Priest, Tom Billington, and Jay Lethal versus the Death Riders of Daniel Garcia, Jon Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli.
I did put they're really trying to get us to like these guys, and Daddy Magic is on commentary, for fuck's sake. And then I said,
yeah, my note.
The Swirler watching backstage, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, my first note is, why? What did Jay Lethal do?
He was the only good thing in this match. Well, not the only good thing. Listen, I do like Mox.
He was the only good thing on the baby side.
I do.
Babyface.
I like everybody wrestling for the Death Riders. I didn't like anyone except for Jay Lethal on the face side. I cannot get behind Adam Priest and Tommy Billington until they gain some personality. I just can't. I don't care how good they do in the ring at this point. I will say this. Who's the short, stocky one? Is it Adam Priest?
No, that's Billington. He's the one who's supposed to be the Dynamite Kid.
No, I don't think that's the one I'm talking about then. Because Billington, I think, is...
With the red and black tights?
Is that who it is? Whoever it is,
sure.
he did a 10 punch in a corner, and it looked really good because he looked like he was actually like trying to fight when he did it. So I give him props for that.
His punches were pretty snug, as they say.
But that's all I got. Dude, this match sucked.
That's the extent of your notes? Well, don't worry, I took notes.
No, I have tons of notes. I just think the match sucked.
Yeah. My favorite part of the match was when Claudio javelin threw the dude into the guardrail. I put, ouch, that looked like that hurt.
The one where a dude dove and he caught him midair and it was like, I put caught him like a baby.
That's like 2 weeks in a row Claudio has javelin thrown somebody into something. So keep it up. This was basically a squash. Jay came in and got some offense off of a hot tag midway through the match. It was brief. It was a hope spot.
Where was it that happened where Jay Lethal came in and hit Mox and Mox looked like he offended him?
I don't know.
Like Jay came in, hit Mox, and Mox looked at him like he talked shit about his mom, dude, and he was upset.
Maybe he really slugged him. I don't know.
Who knows? But dude,
maybe Mox was like, "Ooh, gonna have to get a receipt on that."
Mox looked at him like, "The fuck was that for?"
I thought we were cool. Anyways, Daniel Garcia gets the Dragon Tamer on one of them. Mox hits a stomp on him as well. Guy can't tap out. He's passed out. Death Riders win.
Poor Lethal.
Post-match, Matt Menard's real upset. He's in Daniel Garcia's face just screaming at him. To the point where Daniel Garcia is like, yeah, I've had enough of this. Grabs a microphone and says, look, man, I loved you like a brother. But with you, I'm a loser because you're a loser. I'm with them now. They're winners. I want to be a winner. It's not personal. And then Menard just got called all these names and a loser and just sat there and took it.
Listen, it was actually a pretty good promo, though. I give David Garcia props.
It was fine. It was good. It was fine. This match was terrible. Any match that happens between them will be terrible, so I hope that's not the way they're going. I hope this can just finally be laid to rest. It won't be. But that's okay. We then got a Tony and Stat, Darby and Mox recap to promote the pay-per-view. After that, we got a matriarchy promo with Renee. Nick Wayne thinks he's about to get cleared by the doctors. The doctor's like, well, you're still really swollen and tender. I can't. It's probably going to be another 6 to 8 weeks. The matriarchy freaks out, and that's pretty much it. It was awful.
Nick's like, I'm going to go find another doctor.
Why are these people on AEW TV?
I said, fuck, why are we doing this?
Why? The match with Christian and them should have killed it. They should have went back to ROH so they can eventually become something. They're talented wrestlers, but they need work on everything else.
Yeah. So, match 2 is probably the worst women's match I've ever seen.
It's not that bad, but it was not anything to call home about.
Okay, let me rephrase that. It's probably the worst women's match I've seen in AEW in like the last 3 months. I
don't even know if I'd go that far.
I probably wouldn't.
But it was nothing special.
But it sucked. It was less than nothing special. It was terrible. Anna Jay versus Jamie Hayter. Jamie dominates early until Anna Jay hit her with a flatliner, and then Hayter dropped Jay on the ropes very sloppily. Like, Anna was probably supposed to jump. It was messy
throughout, so...
Anna was probably supposed to jump to actually to land on the ropes.
But yeah, when you get stun gunned, you have to...
And
it was messy.
She didn't jump. She just kind of fell into the ropes. And then we went to break. Back from break, Hayter is back. Goes back on top. She reversed a sleeper into a pin, put Jay in a sleeper. Hayter then hit a drop kick off the turnbuckle. She then hit a back suplex on Jay. Then Jay reversed a DVD position into a DDT, which was probably the best move she's ever done in her life. Jay then hit a sloppy blockbuster and tried to kill herself in the process. Because she almost landed on her head trying to do the move. Hayter hits probably the ugliest Haterade clothesline I've ever seen in my life and got the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, this did nothing for either of them, unfortunately.
I said, I don't know what it is, man, but both these women I feel are just not that good. And I want you guys...
Amy Hayter has not been able to pick up any of the momentum she had before she left, and they keep booking her weirdly. Like, the most exciting thing she had was that backstage fight against Tekla, and they've done nothing with that. Other than they may have been one of 6 women in many a fucking 6-woman tag on this show many different weeks over the last 3 months.
Right. And then backstage, Max Caster celebrating, finally getting a win. And then Bill and Keith come to talk shit. At which point Bowens comes in with like 12 pictures of himself and then like a plaque. And some of them are sticking out of his pants. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
And they're just trying to one-up each other. It's just it's trying to win the breakup, right?
Right. And then...
It's that.
And then... they announced that there's going to be a tag match between both sides, and then as it happens, Kelly, god damn it, was it Renee that was on this one?
No, it was the other one. It was I don't remember her name.
Kelly,
it's the one who's married to Big Bill.
Right, Kelly's on Smackdown. That's why I said Kelly, because she was doing her.
Yeah,
stuff
you're thinking
earlier.
of Kathy Kelly,
but I don't remember who this lady's name is. But anyways. She's like, oh, good. The Acclaimed are going to wrestle together next week. And both of them were like, no.
We're not the Acclaimed.
We're not the Acclaimed. Fun little segment.
So I have a beef. I have a beef with this segment.
Brian Keith's still in AEW.
I have a beef. No, and I have a beef with the other one, and I'm just trying to see if your feed did the same thing. The audio for this backstage segment was terrible.
Here's why
it was echoey and weird.
Here's why.
It's like, why would you be in this room doing this if the audio is that bad?
Here's why I didn't notice it. I feel like that is all of AEW's audio, and I'm used to it.
That is a terrible, terrible thing.
I don't even notice it at this point anymore.
That's bad. Lowered expectations.
You can cover the next 2 matches, though. They're pretty quick.
Hot dog. We got to watch ROH vignette to promote a match with Alex Windsor.
I don't even remember seeing that.
The IWGP Women's Champion. Yeah, that's because it was an ROH thing and you tuned it out.
I fast forwarded.
Which is what I wish I should have done. But next we got LFI with goofy ass Sammy Guevara. He does not fit in this group. Get him out immediately and put Andrade back with them ASAP. Have Sammy join the Don Callis. Just trade them straight up for one another. They would fit in the other groups so much better. But it was LFI versus some jabronis that I didn't even get the names of.
It is Shane Stetson and Cha Cha Charlie. I didn't make that up either. That is legit their name.
What was those names again?
Shane Stetson, which isn't the funny one. The funny one is Cha.
It's Cha Cha Charlie.
Cha Cha Charlie.
I've seen him before. He has worked for them before.
Cha Cha Charlie apparently usually tags with some dude named like Disco Mike or some shit like that.
That sounds about right. I've seen them. I think they've worked dark matches for times that they've been here in town. And yeah, that was funny. Roosh beat the dog piss out of both of them.
Listen, the best moment of the entire night is Roosh tossing Charlie into all the guardrails outside the ring.
Yep, he did his little whip all the way around the ring, slamming him into the guardrail. Got him back in the ring, got him into the corner, gave him the bull horns. You mess with the bull, you'll get the horns. Sammy Guevara came in, did a very sloppy flipping splash for the win.
Yep.
And that was the gist of that match. It was bad.
And since they were already out there, Kingston's music hits.
Yeah, this led directly into the Drilistico versus King of the Bum fights, which is what Nigel McGuinness kept saying out loud about Eddie Kingston. This was nothing.
Then we had to hear Sammy on commentary.
Oh, yes. That was awful. Sammy was awful. And they kept panning to him. The camera kept panning to him while he was talking. It was annoying. Eddie hit an STO that Tony Schiavone called a back heel trip. Or a back leg trip. A rear leg trip is what I wrote down.
You'll hear me bitch about Tony mispronouncing things again later, too.
Eddie hits the back fist for the win. Pretty bad match.
My favorite part of this.
It was bad.
My favorite part of this match specifically, at least the spinning back fist actually looked good for once.
You mean it didn't look like he missed it like he usually does?
Right. But my favorite part of this whole match was early on. Sammy starts clapping for Drilistico, and Tony didn't clap, and Sammy Guevara asked why he didn't clap, and Nigel chimes in and says, Tony got rid of the clap in the 80s and it never came back. And I laughed.
I missed that. I'm so sad I missed that. Nice. I wonder what Tony thought of that. Oh, that's funny. Nice.
That is my favorite thing about Tony and Nigel working together, is it's mostly just Nigel making fun of Tony the entire night. Unfortunately, that means I have to suffer through Tony. But
yeah, I just don't like hearing Tony Schiavone anymore, unless it's an in-ring interview segment, which he's very good at. Most of the time, they just kind of push him out of the way now, and he doesn't even get to do that. But when they say less can be more, this is what they mean.
Right. Yeah. I'll take the next couple matches.
You want me to do the next one?
No, you can do the next one. I'll cover the Knight and Dax match.
MXMTV versus Talk, Fletcher, and Josh Alexander.
This was also a squash match.
Yes, it was. It was a more entertaining squash match, at least.
At this point in time, at this point in the night, it was the best match of the night.
Very true. Mansoor came out with a jacket. I already messaged you this, but I got a kick out of it anyways, because he was. So they were talking before the segment, like they were doing an open challenge as well, and Mansoor, it's kind of a close up on him, and he's got like hands on like the lapel of his like jacket. But then I also see him holding a microphone and gesturing with the other one. And I'm like, whose hands are these? They panned back and they were just attached. They were just attached to the jacket.
So
I laughed out loud.
The way this open challenge works, for anybody that wants to know, is it's MXM and Johnny TV. And any 2 to 3 people can come out and accept the challenge.
And it can be mixed. It can be mixed tag teams too.
It can. And it could be 2 or 3 people, and whoever it is that comes out, if it's 2 people, can pick which 2 people they wrestle against. So.
You can have Four Hands McGee, or you can have any of the other 3. It's nice. I don't know why I think that's so funny.
It's hilarious.
But it is very funny to me. They were so tight in on him. I'm like, I don't see anybody, because the way the hands are, it's like they're his hands. So if they were somebody's hands, they would be very close, kind of like cuddling him from behind. And I couldn't see anybody, so it was fucking me up.
He's a walking AI wrestler.
Oh, dude, I don't know why I think that's so funny. Oh, shit. Anywho, oh man, I'm kind of crying. That's so funny. Where's my notes? Where am I in my notes? Just reading it again makes me laugh. Sorry. So I got a couple of things on here. There was an attempt of a springboard, and then Josh Alexander caught somebody in and power slammed them out of. They did a 3-person German suplex spot where the 2 people on the sides German their person and then helped German the bigger guy from MXM. Like Nick had already mentioned, this was a squash. It ended with a wheelbarrow by Talk, a package pile driver by Josh Alexander, brainbuster by Fletch for the win. So dude caught all 3 moves.
Somebody on Twitter said they ran a train on Mansoor.
Boy, did they. Hey, he's got 4 hands, so you know. The logistics of that is all over the place. Yeah, so, it was fine.
So backstage, the Outrunners are talking, and Dalton looks so confused. He said that last week he thinks they had the greatest match ever. Dalton Castle then said that he feels the pressure is crashing down on him to have another good match. He doesn't know how they can keep getting better. At which point the Outrunners pick up. Well, they try to. At first, they try to inspire him and try and tell him that they're just going to keep getting better. They're going to be all right. And Dalton's not having it. He's like, I don't think so. I think we're. It's like he's like we can't get any better. At which point they pick him up and they're like, so you're in great hands. And he's like, yeah, I am in good hands. And then they walk off. It was so weird.
Yeah, they picked him up, shuttled him out of there. It was indeed a strange segment.
I still don't know why they're
with poor audio again. They were back in that room. It was Just poor audio again.
I still don't know why the three of them are together because they're so wildly different.
Probably something saw on a Ring of Honor TV.
Probably. We get another backstage segment. Hayter and Amanada are about to be interviewed when out of nowhere the Triangle of Madness shows up and beat the fuck out of them. Thank goodness.
Yep, I put Mean Girl segment with the Triangle of Madness going over.
Mean Girl segment, that's amazing. Match 6. Kevin Knight versus Dax. So this whole thing was supposed to be nobody was supposed to be able to know who Kevin Knight was wrestling against. And then both Dax and Cash are in the ring, making it look like they're going to square off against Kevin Knight.
It was a neat little heel spot.
It was. Cash dives out the ring as Dax attacks. And then Kevin gets the upper hand and knocks Dax out of the ring. Kevin Knight actually stays on the offense for quite a while.
Did you notice that they were really, really, really protecting Dax's face here?
I did. His nose is probably legit broke.
Oh, it most certainly was, but they were really, really, it was really obvious.
Knight had a fun dive to the floor. Then they got into a chop battle on the apron just for Joe.
Yes, sir.
And they eventually tumbled into the stands, which led to commercial break. Knight is back up on top after he hit a Hurricane Karana. Dax hits a series of clotheslines that turns Knight inside out. But then Knight
Dax hit a couple really fierce looking clotheslines in this match.
And then Knight hit a beautiful sky high that Tony called just a regular powerbomb, and it made me mad.
Yeah, well, you know.
Because it's definitely more like a spine buster than it is a powerbomb.
I agree.
Dax hits a rope-assisted powerbomb twice. He tried the first one, and
he tried the first time, and he got countered.
Then they hit the second one. He got a 1-2 ooh. Cash eventually gets involved, and then Mike gets involved to get Cash out of being involved. Kevin's on top of the top rope and is about to do his splash, and Stokely dives into the ring.
Is in the ring, yeah.
And tries to get him to stop, and then he gives him the middle fingers, and then does his move over Stokely, which I was like, I need more of that.
Yeah, for the win.
That makes sense. But yeah,
I don't like him going over Dax.
I do. If they're trying to build up younger talent, this is.
I didn't say I didn't say it didn't make sense. I just said I didn't like it.
Oh. I'm a big Knight fan at this point, so I was happy. I love Dax too. Don't get me wrong, but
he wears shoes, so he's certainly the one I like out of that team.
Post match, Stoke tries to get in Willow's face. Willow's about to powerbomb the shit out of him, but FTR stops it, and then Bane and Ford come in for some reason, and attack Willow, and then they
got a blood and guts match to set up.
And then they all stand and celebrate together. The heels do.
All 5 heels stood in the ring with their hands raised.
We get a vignette for Shane Taylor Promotions and then Christopher Daniels' group for some reason.
Yeah, Christopher Daniels, he looks like a bad youth pastor, and these are all his kids, and they're off on some like field trip church group thing.
I guess. I don't know. It's weird to me. If you want to take the Tony stat segment though.
Ooh, yes, I would.
At least you get something interesting. You've done nothing but cover squash matches this show, so.
What's the difference? It's Collision. Aren't they all kind of squash matches? Tony and Stat in-ring segment. First of all, I hate face versus face matchups. But at least they're trying to keep this one interesting. Long story short, this is their first match. They spoke very highly of one another. And they ended it with, well, we don't necessarily have to wait till Wrestle Dream. and they had their little hockey fight thing where they were beating up on each other, only to get beaten up from behind by the Triangle of Madness again, who are just going to be feuding with every woman on the roster at this point.
True.
Harley Cameron's music hits. They all stand up, waiting for her to arrive down the aisle. She comes in through the crowd and jumps them from behind. Is on top very shortly before the heels overcome. This allows Stat and Tony to recover, and the babyfaces get the upper hand and the heels bail.
So, a couple things that I liked about this segment. I love that they laid down to talk to each other because it's so goofy.
Yep.
Tony laid down first, and Stat's just like, all right, I guess so. And it was funny because towards the end of the conversation, you could see Stat caressing her face. It was such a goofy fucking thing.
Enough of this sexual banter. Is what Tony says at one time.
And then Tony has now twice called her by her real name, which is Kristen.
Hey, I know one of those.
Yeah, you do. And then she did. I loved that. She said that she loved that title, and it is personal for her.
Yeah, because she doesn't know who she is without that title.
But she did go on to say that there's no one she'd rather lose to, but also no one else she'd rather beat, which I thought was a fun little line.
Yep. I think they're going to kill it.
I do too. I think they'll have a great match.
I think Stat's going to continue to win, but
we get a vignette.
I think they're going to kill it.
True. We get a vignette for Joe and Hangman for some reason. And then match 7, Hechicero, Lance Archer, and Rocky Romero versus Paragon and Orange Cassidy, which ended up being the match of the night for me.
I agree.
I spent the entire night being like, man, these matches suck. And then we finally got a good one. And I was like, let's go.
I messaged you before this match going, how long is this fucking show? Because I forgot that they talked at the very, very, very beginning of the show and forgot this match was even a thing. I thought the Tony segment with the Triangle Girls was it. So I'm like, all right, cool, about to knock this podcast out. And it came back from commercial and did the little vignette you talked about. And I'm like, where are we going? What is left? What would be the main event?
Right. We get some technical mat wrestling starting off from O'Reilly and Hechicero. OC gets tagged in, does his lazy slaps. Strong gets annoyed, so he tags himself in.
Love Roddy. Good old Roddy.
I loved it as well. Cassidy jumps off the top to crossbody Lance. Lance catches him mid-air. And then tosses him into Roddy, which was funny.
Yeah. He wrecked all three of their asses. It was great.
Strong finally, after some, honestly, just normal wrestling, Strong finally tags in Orange Cassidy reluctantly. He sees it's Orange, looks around to try and find O'Reilly, doesn't see him, so finally goes ahead and tags him.
He's like, all right, and he tags in.
He puts his hands in his pockets, does his thing. At some point, Rocky and OC trade blows, and I put just for Joe, which was one of the coolest trade blow moments. Dude, I love anything Orange Cassidy's involved with because it's just so goofy. Because it's basically Rocky slapping the shit out of Orange and Orange just tapping him.
Until he gets mad.
Until he takes a couple of really good hits. And then he's like, yeah, no, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, it ramped up quick.
OC hits a stun dog millionaire. Kyle knocks him down with a kick or 4 something. I don't remember. I just know he knocks him down. OC hits the orange punch on Archer, and then Paragon high-low him to take him out of the match.
Yeah, that was a cool spot.
And then O'Reilly hit a tornado DDT, and then suplexed Romero into an armbar, and made Romero tap. At which point, Fletcher's music hits, and everybody that was there from the Don Callis family came out and taunted. So, like, everybody except for Andrade and Don Callis were there.
I hate what they've done to his music now that they've added the glitch dude in.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either.
Yeah, I hate it. Like something like I didn't care for his music to begin with, but now they've made an already.
Sorry.
Yeah, they've made it worse.
This is probably the most boring Collision I can recall watching.
Yeah, probably not the worst, but definitely the most boring.
I don't.
Nothing happened.
I like. Was there a football game? Like, did the Jaguars play tonight and Tony just wasn't there? Like, I don't know what's going. Like, nothing moved forward. Like, the only thing that really happened that pushed anything truly forward was Tony and Chris. And even then...
And really, that just promoted the blood and guts match because that was interrupted to fuel that.
Exactly. And I don't know. My problem, and I'm starting to see why, Simon has stopped covering Collision as a whole.
Sadly, it is our most viewed shows on YouTube.
Right. And probably because no one else talks
like
about it.
Like you said, because no one else talks about it. Yeah.
And
hey, we're feeling a need out there on the internet.
Apparently. And I need Collision to get better. Like, I need them to treat it like a real TV show and not like an amalgamation of just fucking squash matches. Like, we had 4.
Yep.
4 squash matches tonight.
Up from the normal 2.
Up from the normal 2. There were only 7 matches. 4 of them were squash matches, and 2 of the other matches were just boring.
Yeah, the other matches were Anna Jay and Jamie Hayter. That was kind of 50-50.
I won't say boring because I actually did like the Kevin Knight and Dax match.
Yeah, and that would be the other match that was booked kind of 50-50.
Right.
Everything else was kind of either bad, looking at you, Eddie Kingston and Drolistico.
Oh, I forgot that match even existed. My bad.
Well, yeah, I don't blame you. If I hadn't written it down. But yeah, just... And the sad thing is, I like Paragon a lot. I'm a huge Roddy fan. And they are just stuck on Collision, just doing these types of matches week in and week out. Oh, and guess what? We got another 6-man women's match next week. They took 2 weeks off to give us a break before shoving that back down our throats.
Yeah, but this one's actually I think is going to actually be good because it's a Triangle of Madness, and then it's Tony, Chris, and Harley.
Stat and Harley. Yep.
So I think it'll be fun. It's not Amanada. It's not Anna Jay. It's not Ty Mello. It's not Jamie Hayter.
Sadly, Sky Blue and Julia are right there with those girls, in my opinion.
I don't think so. I think they're way better. But
I think Sky Blue is way better, but that's only because she actually sells, and that usually means she's getting hurt.
Because of Amanada.
You're not wrong there.
But no, Dynamite looks good. They showed a lot of the matches that are going to be happening at Dynamite, and I was like, oh, thank goodness.
Yep.
It's going to be a solid show. It's Tuesday. Don't forget, people. Tuesday.
Yeah, I won't. I'll need to not forget.
But yeah, that's the show. I don't have much else to say. SmackDown was leagues better. And that's weird to say.
Yeah, it is.
Usually they both suck, but
you know what makes SmackDown really enjoyable?
Huh?
It being condensed to like 35 minutes.
But see, I would normally agree, but again, this SmackDown was really good. I don't even think
no.
Like, because usually I dread SmackDown, dude. I fucking dread SmackDown.
I know it's usually hey if I'm gonna miss one, it's gonna be SmackDown for you. And usually I'm like, oh, I ain't got nothing going on a Friday night.
But yeah, usually I dread it. But like again, the only thing I didn't like was most of the main event was boring. Otherwise, it was a solid show, full of a bunch of newer people that haven't wrestled much, if at all, on TV. No long segments. Even the opening segment wasn't very long. Like it was a good time.
Yeah.
I still hate
I
that
don't disagree.
his name's Alistair and not Malachi, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the shows.
Those are the shows, guys. We will be back Monday
Monday.
with
Raw.
Monday Night Raw. It's the go home week to Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel. I was waiting for you to get there.
In Perth.
I couldn't remember it at first either. I was like, what dumb name is it? It's not WrestlePalooza. That was here. That just happened. What the hell is it? It's like, oh, it's the Crown Jewel time in Australia.
Right.
At least it's not in Saudi Arabia.
That's true. Very true. Right, guys. We will see you guys Monday for Raw. Toodles.
Later.